I remember that game fondly.
6 out of 10.
Wow.
You never even played it.
I got to a part where like you had to do like this one-on-one battle, and I got stuck, and I had to replay the game all over again.
See,
And I was like,
that
screw it.
that sounds like a skill issue to me.
Ooh. I think he's getting good.
It sounds like a get good moment.
I mean, I don't remember where you.
shit.
I have no idea where you got stuck, man. Because I mean,
Bro,
I
we are
managed-
only 20 minutes in, and he's already pulling out the get good.
Oh,
Okay,
we're live.
We're live, guys. We're
Oh,
live.
sorry.
All right.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
This is episode.
What?
Volume 8. We're volume 8. Inverse Society.
Wait, we were volume 6 last time. What happened to volume 7?
We
Volume
skipped
7 was the last one.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know how to count.
Neither does Mo, apparently.
All right, so we're having a conversation about what was it today?
All right, so today's conversation: what is the best era for console gaming, specifically consoles? So no PC. We're only going to talk about consoles.
I mean, Mo has already said something that I completely disagree with, but,
Oh,
but
okay.
I'll let him lead
All right,
on this one. He's wrong.
Mo,
but
take it away.
Okay, so the best era is the PlayStation 4 era, and the reason why that is because I gave a lot less 6 out of 10s when it came to the PlayStation 4,
Okay.
and
Why?
to prove it's
And
the
what
best
games?
era is because we're still living in the PlayStation 4 era. There are games made for the PlayStation 5 that are played for the PlayStation 4.
Well,
Elden
hold on.
Ring.
But every
Elden
era,
Ring.
every era does that though. Like so,
Yeah.
Elden Ring.
when the
they
PlayStation
do that for a while.
when the PlayStation 3 came out, I'm sorry, when the PlayStation 3 came out, PlayStation 2 games were still in circulation as well, and with the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3 games are still. I don't think that counts.
Hold on, how long has the PlayStation 5 been out? Because the PlayStation 4 has been going on for quite a while now, though.
Yeah, and that's kind of like how it always is, though.
Let me see.
Do you disagree?
PlayStation 5. I disagree because we're still seeing a lot of PlayStation 4 games come out. We're like 2 years into the PlayStation 5, right?
I mean,
I don't know because there was that pandemic is causing me to
2020.
It blurred.
I have-
It blurred.
Yeah,
everything,
it
man.
blurred. I lost a lot of time. Sitting
I
at home.
lost a lot of. Yeah, everybody lost time. I
Wait,
think
what?
there's a lot of Mandela effects happening that during the COVID.
Yeah, literally, I woke up one day and like 2 years had already passed and shit, and it was weird.
I grade during the pandemic.
Oh no! You can't blame the PlayStation 4 for not being the best era because of COVID. No, PlayStation 4 is the best era.
See.
Well,
PlayStation-
no, hold on. Now that you mention it, what was happening during the COVID, right?
PlayStation 5, the worst era.
Oh,
I mean,
it?
I'll go with him on that one. PS5 era is pretty lame right now.
Well, it is trash. It is trash. Yeah, I agree.
And I blame that on PC gaming.
Well, I thought we were going
You're
to talk
so
about PC.
Funny.
No, I'm just saying.
What the hell? You can't bring PC into this. The whole idea was we were supposed to talk about.
No, we're not talking about PCs. We're talking about the PlayStation. Okay.
Well, consoles.
Console. Sorry. We were talking about the PlayStation, but yeah, we were talking about console game. Anyway,
I mean, I don't understand why you think PS4 is the best era. That just
well, this is the other thing. He mentioned the reason why is because of the games, right?
I mean, there's way better games prior to that, though.
Yeah. I would say, okay, so for me, I'm gonna give a little bit of charity because I do think that the PlayStation 4 did a great job, especially when it came to their response to digital rights management. If you remember during the yeah, because we basically were on. Oh God, we just lost Nave. Mo, are you still with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, we're gonna have to pause for a second because Nave just he just died.
Let's talk about the worst era in streaming. I say the Knave era is the worst era.
This guy's the worst. Every time he comes in, something goes wrong. He's gonna come back in here, and it's not gonna be recording him anymore. Never mind. It looks like it immediately picked up. Okay, great.
Okay, cool.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna have to edit the crap out of this now. All right. Okay, so I was saying before regarding the PlayStation 4, going from the 360, because we were a huge like Xbox 360 users,
Oh my
and
god, that
then
dog.
when it came to the X Bone, we we were going to go that route, but then afterwards, it came out that they were going to do a whole bunch of digital rights management, which they did. Which I have to, give it to Microsoft. They eventually backtracked. But what happened was that pretty much they lost the console war that year when the PlayStation 4 finally came out. And I got to agree that I played a lot of games on the PlayStation 4s over that. I was actually happy that because I mean, if especially if you were somebody who played the PlayStation 3, you remember how crappy the internet, the
Uh,
online play was, and stuff like that. So for
it's not
me,
even. It's not even just that. The PS3 was just super expensive when it first came out. Way too
oh yeah,
expensive.
because of the Blu-ray technology that they were
Well, I mean
implementing at the
that's
time.
why Microsoft kind of took over because it was the poor gamers console, and they had Halo.
Actually, to be fair,
Here we
the
go.
PlayStation 3 wasn't even the most expensive console. You want to know what the most expensive console was?
PS5.
No, the Super Nintendo.
Okay, well, see, Super Nintendo still had better games than PS4.
And here's another fun fact for you: the games didn't have regulated pricing, so you could have a game that was like $80, $90, depending on what the game was.
I mean, I remember the games being $50. I don't know about y'all.
Mm. Yeah,
Um,
see, I that's the thing for me because my mom was buying the games back way back when. I couldn't tell you what the price of gaming was back then because I never saw a price tag.
I bought most of my games, and they were like $50. And then I remember the hike to 60 and the current hike to 70.
I do remember when I was buying PlayStation games specifically, like PlayStation One. That's probably the first time I ever bought an actual game with my own money. I believe they were around 50 ish.
Yeah, that's about
Yeah,
right.
something like that.
Okay, wait, Mo, you still have to defend your position. The PlayStation 4 games,
they're
which
just
ones?
better.
Well, yeah, you could say that, but list some of the
Yeah,
greats that made
I'm
the PS4.
curious. Yeah, what's
Yeah,
your
I'm
list
gonna hear
like?
this. I swear,
Okay,
if you say
see,
Black Ops, I'm gonna kill you.
What's Black Ops?
no, I mean, okay, so you want me to name some of the?
What
Wow,
made PS4
Go
amazing,
ahead, go
like
ahead.
over every other generation?
let's go with it. Bloodborne. We had Persona. We had Persona 4. We had Persona. What was it? Persona 5 was also on the PlayStation 4, right? Was
Persona.
we had 4 or 5? Yeah,
Yeah,
5.
both. We had both 4 and 5.
But 5 is the top one. We
Yeah,
had
5 was great.
we have Elden Ring. We had Dragon's Dogma, which is a good one. So there was a lot of great titles that came out for the PlayStation 4 that no other system can really compete with. The
I,
only reason why you don't want to call it the golden era is because you're living in the golden era and you
okay,
can't realize it. I can because I am.
This is not the golden era.
It
pause.
is the golden era.
No,
Pause.
it's not.
Some of
It
those
is.
games, some of those games were released on other consoles though.
Yeah,
Afterwards, PlayStation 4
No. You
had them.
mentioned
They were
Elden
PlayStation 4
Ring. You
games.
mentioned Elden Ring. It was just like, wait, every game console got that one, so I don't think you could really. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, Ring is a great game, and if you could play it on the PlayStation 4, great. But like, I don't know.
place the PC.
Yeah, and it's on PC. Let's not talk.
I didn't.
No. Be fair. Let's not talk about PC.
Okay, fine. I mean, look, those are great games, but I fail to see what how those games made this era golden or that era the golden age.
We had Final Fantasy 7 remake.
Yeah, but we also had the Final Fantasy VII that started the whole need for the remake in the first place in the prior
Yeah,
generations.
it's true.
And it doesn't even hold up though. These games don't hold up. PlayStation 4 games
No,
hold
it's
up
not.
and will hold up.
It's not even about
It
holding up.
does.
No, it's not even about holding
Well,
up.
hold on.
It's
Because they're gonna hold up, yes. Because right now there hasn't been as much leaps and bounds as there was in the previous generations. Give it another like I
You're
don't know
wrong.
10. No, yeah, give it another like 10, 15 years. Can you really honestly say that those PS4 games are gonna hold up any more than
Yes.
PlayStation
nah.
One,
Yes,
SNES,
because I
or
will
any of
tell
those
you
other
why.
game consoles?
Yes, I'll tell you why. Because
Go ahead.
the SNES, for what it was, Sega games, they still hold up to this day because of what they look like. The 3D era of the PlayStation looks horrible. The PlayStation 4 3D era looks great, so it will hold up.
Yeah, but bear in mind that we had plenty of great games during the PlayStation One era, which, by the way, that's going to be the era that I would choose ultimately, mainly because of
Name
the
one.
fact, oh, Metal Gear Solid.
Oh
Crap.
yeah.
There's
What?
yeah.
Ah,
Listen, that was the fucking pinnacle at the time. Okay, uh,
that started everything. You can't graphics wise. You're looking at it from the current perspective now, but you got to look at what it meant then. and you got to rate the eras based on when the games came out. The PS4 has great games, but it's like I can't recall one game that I'm like, oh my god, that game like defined an era. There's really nothing. It's just good games, yeah. But I mean, maybe God of War. Wait, was that for the PS4?
God of War, the recent one, right? God
Ragnarok.
of War Dad, yeah.
Yeah, God of War Dad. I feel like that one maybe, but like that's my point. Maybe. Now, is it a bad game? No, it's an amazing game. But the thing is, it's not defining of an era. I wouldn't even. I mean, even with microtransactions now, I would hardly call this the golden era.
Well, okay, you can't really. For me, I wouldn't.
Part of the game. It's part of the game.
Okay,
It's in the
true,
game.
but I wouldn't actually like
It
rate.
holds back games.
Yeah, but then you could argue that
And Baldur's Gate proves. No,
you can
hold on,
argue
hold
that
on.
on
I'll say one last
PC
thing.
too.
No, but I can still say this: Boulder Gate 3 proves that that's not gone. It's just we're dealing with it right now. So if you have cash shops in the game, it's part of the game because obviously you can make a game without the cash shop. It
Well,
still
yeah,
exists.
absolutely. Now, but like I said,
Got to review it all.
I wouldn't actually count the whole like microtransaction as like some kind of like oh, this is a reason why this era sucks or anything like that. Because the thing is that not every game has microtransactions. As you just
Well, I mean,
mentioned,
true,
Baldur's Gate is one of them.
but think of the many games that have to wait 12 months to become fully complete, where you didn't have that issue before. I remember buying a game and it worked and it was ready. It was done. For the time you could expect a polished video game from beginning to end. Now it's like you buy a game and you wonder, do I have to wait 12 months for this or is it going to be ready to go?
Yeah, but those are developer decisions that are being made right now. I mean,
I
it's
think. I mean,
That affects all games though. And that
I think
affects
we're
the
no, it
eras.
does.
wrong. I think you guys are wrong. I think most games are complete. There's just add-ons you don't want to buy. You feel like it's just like it should already be in the game, but these games are pretty much long and complete as it is.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I agree. It should actually. Personally, I don't like that they started to do DLC content and stuff like that. I think that that
It's
is one
called
of those
games as a
things that's
live service.
yeah. I mean, right now we're used to it, but I think that that was probably one of the worst things that happens
Ugh.
with modern day gaming is this idea that well, it's a part of it, but you have to unlock the content by just basically giving us more money. You know what I'm saying? Like if I
Yeah.
give you $70 for a video game, it should be the complete package. But that's just me. I understand that some of these games do actually have, DLC that comes later on, meaning that it's one thing if it's like okay, like God of War, if they were to do a God of War DLC like right now, uh, from the more recent game, I think that it would be a little bit more acceptable because of the fact that it's been out for a while now. Or even just
And
like if Elden Ring were to actually get DLC, that would also probably be a little bit more acceptable because it wasn't already a part of the base game. What they started to do was they actually started to release the game, and then shortly after that, like within like maybe a month or two, or sometimes at release, there's already DLC, which is ridiculous. How is it that you would release a brand new game with DLC already tied to it? That doesn't make any sense.
you know what? You're right. So there are some games that come out complete that get DLC later. I'm okay with those
Yeah,
because
I
you
have no
have
problem with
internet
that.
you have internet connection. So obviously God of War came out, great game. Put some DLC later down the road. It's a complete game. It feels like a complete game. But a good example of of why it's a problem in this generation and still continuing is the fact that you have games like Battlefield 1, 2, 3, fully complete games. Buggy, yes, but they worked I mean, Battlefield 4 had such customization, so many options. I mean, you had so many things you could earn in that game, and it gave you hours and hours of replayability. Now you have the new Battlefield, and that came out with a tenth of the level of detail, and it took almost a year to get it to at least a level that you would consider Battlefield, polished. And that's another example of just what we have to deal with. We have some games that come out fully polished, ready to go, that DLC doesn't really hurt. But then you have a slew of games that come out and they're just like never ready. They're never ready. You
But
just
that's
kind of
always how
played it.
been though. That's
That's
always been a thing
that's
though.
not that's not
Yes, it has.
before internet was a thing. That was not a thing.
I promise you, we've had very shit games from big time developers, and
Oh, I'm
they
talking
should not
about
have been
Super
released.
Nintendo. Super Nintendo put some games out that were done and they worked. I don't and the only thing you could do in those games was mess around to try to get places you weren't supposed to get. And it didn't and it was never game breaking, but they worked. They were fully tested and ready to go. There's a
There
lot
were
of games
some.
like that.
I mean, there were some really bad games for the Super Nintendo too that should never been released. That
I
weren't
agree.
finished.
I agree with you there, but there was a lot more games that are more memorable and defining of an era.
Yeah.
than this generation.
Because I think that I mean, to be honest with you though, Nintendo is an entirely different animal. It has so many different IPs attached to its name, its brand. You got Metroid, you got Kirby, you got Mario, Zelda. I mean, all those titles. I mean,
Yeah, Pokemon.
but
Pokemans,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, they pretty much
Battle
own.
Coliseum,
Call yeah, but like
Pokemon Coliseum, yeah.
so yeah, they pretty
Elden
much
Ring.
own all those different brands, associated with the Nintendo name. So it's a little they're a little bit different compared to the other ones, because the other ones, like, yeah, you have Microsoft has Halo. I mean, they I think they own Rare, like, in general.
I
So they
mean,
also have Killer Instinct, but it's like there's you got Microsoft, and then what, and then for the PlayStation, or Sony specifically, they have like Crash Bandicoot, they have God of War.
mhm.
um it's I don't know. I think Nintendo is just a little bit different when it comes to a lot of the IPs that it has.
But the thing is, how many Marios can you really make? How many Zeldas can you really make?
No,
I
I'm
think
not a
those
big
games are
fan of
overrated.
Mario's. I'm not a big fan of Mario's myself.
I stopped playing around. I think
Those are definitely kid games for the
we've
most
gone
part.
over this, but I think I stopped playing around Mario. What was it? I think Yoshi's Island was the last one I played,
Hmm.
and and then I guess we got into an argument that that's not really a Mario game, but whatever. Like, it
It,
still
it
counts.
technically is.
Yeah,
It
it
is a
is.
Mario game. It's a
It's Super
sequel.
Mario. It's, in fact, they said Super Mario World 2, right?
Right, it's a sequel.
Yeah, it's a sequel. So, but yeah, that was the
It's
last
it's a
one I
prequel.
played.
It's like a prequel sequel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I didn't play, and I didn't play Mario 64. I actually remember I went to the mall, because we used to go into the GameStop there, and I would actually play, whatever games were pretty much, set up. And so I played a little bit of 64, but I never really got into it. It just never really, like, I didn't leave the GameStop thinking, you know what, I really want to take this home with me. I really want to, like, pester my mom to buy me an N64 so I can play it.
You know what? Just out of curiosity, what's one game that you guys remember as a core memory? Oldest
Breath
game
of
you remember?
Fire 3.
Okay,
Nice.
nice,
That's
bad,
a
not
that's a
bad.
good that's a good one.
Yeah.
For me, I would say it would have to be Fantasy Star Online.
Okay, not bad at all. For me, you know, I wanted to say some RPG from like PlayStation 1 or 2, but I think the more I think about it, and since you mentioned it, Halo 1, Halo 1 for me, like that was big. Where
Combat Evolved, yeah, I remember
yeah,
when that came out.
that was big for me, man. That game, I remember nothing but it's just the fond memories. I remember all me and my friends getting together and connecting all of our TVs together because we were kids. We didn't know you could do that, but then I read somewhere on an article you could, and we bought a hub, and then we started connecting all these TVs, these old TVs, and these Xboxes together, as well as some controllers, some that worked, someone that had like issues. I remember having LAN parties in my house. I mean that for me, you just don't get that anymore. You don't get that level of social play like you used
Mm.
to, and that's something I miss in gaming in general. The more connected we are, the less connected we are in current gaming. I mean, you don't even have chat lobbies anymore when you're playing, getting ready for a game. That was one of the things I loved back in the day. Do you remember like the old 360 days? There was chat lobbies before, or
Yeah.
like before you actually jumped in the game. You could like talk to your squad or talk to randos, and then talk to. Sometimes you could even shit talk the opposite team. They don't do that anymore, and it's like it just takes away from the social aspect of multiplayer games, which used to be my favorite aspect of video games in modern times. But now it's like you join a random game and they might as well just be NPCs because you can't talk to them half the time anyway, or they don't want to talk. But to me, I think the best era has to be I want to call it the Japanese RPG revolution, man. When RPGs were just coming out like left and right, and the stories were like really mature. Those were some of the best stories I've ever played through to
Like, give
this
us an
day.
example.
Xenogears, the original.
I kind of figured you were going to mention that one.
That
That was a
game,
good one.
that game got me, man. Like, imagine a kid going to school, and then you're playing this game that's dealing with a lot of aspects of religion and space opera and just like aliens and fourth dimensional stuff, and then like the idea that the world was seeded by another colony of humans that were super advanced, and this big tower they call the Tower of Babel is actually the fuselage for this giant spaceship, and it reaches into the sky through the clouds. I mean, all these things were blowing my mind when I was playing this game as a kid, and I remember like getting on GameFAQs of all things to read up more of the
Hmm.
lore because I was so immersed in the lore. I mean, I could up until that point, I just didn't know a game could have that much lore. That was like, I mean, obviously now we're used to it. We get games like what Skyrim and such, but back then that was a big deal. You went from Crash Bandicoot to freaking Xenogears. I mean, you went from no like kid story to oh my god, this is like an existential crisis going on in my head. I remember that game fondly.
6 out of 10.
You
Wow.
never even played it.
I got to a part where like you had to do like this one-on-one battle, and I got stuck, and I had to replay the game all over again.
See,
I was like,
that
screw it.
that sounds like a skill issue to me.
Ooh. I think he's getting good.
It sounds like a get good moment.
I mean, I don't remember where you.
shit.
I have no idea where you got stuck, man. Because I mean,
Bro,
I
we are
managed
only 20 minutes in and he's already pulling out the get good.
that game. No, in my opinion, that game is actually better than Final Fantasy VII, and that's one of my favorite RPGs. And I think Xenogears was robbed of what it could have been because Square was more focused on pushing Final Fantasy VII at the time over Xenogears. I think Xenogears was actually supposed to be a Final Fantasy game.
I think they screwed over a lot actually because I think the same thing kind of happened with Valkyrie Profile as well.
Oh yeah,
Where
yeah, I think I
that
heard
was
that
a
too.
for me that was a cult classic. I actually liked Valkyrie Profile.
I mean, dude, there was even like a sex scene in Xenogears. I remember like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, no, no, it's
Oh
just like
yeah.
that's like that blew my mind as a kid too because usually you you play the main character and he has like a love interest and you're always thinking to yourself just sleep with her, kiss her, dang it, and you never do. But
Yeah,
in this
yeah,
game,
no.
no, in this game he totally does.
They
He hits it.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was like, what?
Yeah, I
It was
remember. I
awesome.
remember when you told me about that. I'm like, oh, blasphemy.
I
Yeah.
told you the PS1 era was scrambled porn.
I mean, you have that, and
It
then I
was.
remember Twisted Metal, dude. Twisted Metal for its time was awesome.
Twisted Metal was. You know what? That was dumb fun though. Like
It was.
I
It
look
was
back
so
at it.
stupid fun.
I look back at it and I'm like, dude, what did I ever see in that game? But when you actually like got your bros together and stuff like that, or cousins,
Exactly.
whoever,
Exactly.
yeah, 4-player split screen, man, that was the best fucking
The
time.
social gaming that you had back then was awesome, and it
Yeah.
doesn't exist anymore. And that's what gaming is missing. Is that talk shit over your shoulder type of thing.
Yeah, yeah, it's been a while. I
It
can
doesn't
remember.
happen anymore.
Yeah, I remember my I used to play with my cousins all the time on GameCube. I remember when, in fact, I believe they re-released Fantasy Star Online. I believe they had several different versions over the years, but they ended up releasing it for GameCube. And I remember one of the biggest features that they put on there was 4-player split screen. So we didn't have to play online; we could just play offline together and shit like. And that was really fun for us at the time.
Oh, also, so I'm gonna jump into horror, but another underrated game that I think got left in the shadows of Resident Evil at the time, which was also
Ooh,
great, was
Resident Evil, yeah.
yeah, Resident Evil, great. First one and two, man, those games are great. They scared the crap out of me. Yeah, the controls don't hold up, but for its time, for what it did, it's a memorable one. One that nobody talks about that I loved was Parasite Eve.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Oh, that game is actually scarier in my mind.
Yeah, Parasite Eve. I remember they also had Bloody Roar. That was a
Bloody Roar,
remember
yeah.
people used to play
Dino
that.
Crisis.
Dino Crisis. You had Dino Crisis. You had freaking Jesus. You had Tomba. I don't know.
There was Suikoden.
Wait.
How do you even say that? I know what you're talking about. I can never say it.
I
It's
remember
Suikoden.
What?
Suikoden.
No, it's
Suikoden?
It's Suikoden. Suikoden.
Su-
I said it and it messed me up.
You know what?
It's Suikoden.
I don't think
Suikoden!
I don't think you said it right.
I don't know who said it right.
anyway, Bushido Blade.
Oh, dude, I love Bushido Blade. I remember playing one-on-one with my buddies for like forever long, and it was just annoying because in that game it was brutal. Like you made one mistake, one swipe, dead.
Oh yeah, Ooh,
Dead in
yeah.
one swipe.
It was rough.
You know what's funny though? They made a game now, modern. I mean, I'm sure Mo would like it because it's modern graphics, but it's like, but it, but it's basically that game, but with modern graphics, and you pick different era characters, and you have like a samurai, and it's literally that. You have to like block. I forget the name of it, but it's literally the same thing. The same thing. They just redid it again with better graphics.
It's not that game that we were playing before on PlayStation
No,
4.
no. This one's like completely indie. I just found it yesterday. TikTok of all places. But it's literally the same thing. It's just that you have these stances and you block, and then a little nick will take you out. A small nick in the right
Mhm.
vital will just kill you.
Yeah, you know what? I want to see that actually when we finish up here.
Oh yeah, I'll show you. I've
Yeah.
actually wanted to tell you guys about that. It looks interesting. But what else was there? Oh, not Ninja Gaiden. Bushido Blade.
You're
We
meaning Tenchi.
Oh, what was it called again?
Oh,
Tenchi.
Tenchu.
Yeah, Tenshu.
Tenchu.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's the one where you have to go on the rooftops and you're like
Yeah.
assassinating people. Yeah, that was a great game. I love that one.
Rikimaru.
That game was so good, man.
Yeah.
Okay, but to be fair though, I mean we have a lot of great games that are better in this generation. It's just that they're more spread out in the consoles.
Wait,
you
hold
you
on. I'm not
just
done yet. Mega
yeah
Man
no Mega Man
X4,
X 2, 3, 4, 1. I
4,
The
mean
Me-
Mega
Mega
Man
Man
8,
8,
Mega Man 9,
Mega Man Legends.
the
Mega Man
Mega Man games are
Bass.
overrated.
Again, for its time, they were amazing. They
No, they
defined
weren't.
an era. Yes, they did.
As someone who played gaming, I mean, how much Mega Man can you really get after like Mega Man, what, 7 or 8?
Every time that I would get rid of my PlayStation 1, I would eventually end up back with another one. And I would actually re-get a lot of those games, including Metal Gear Solid. So
Same
I
here.
just to relive all that stuff.
Look, let me put it this way: how many times have you played any of these games you've listed on the PS4?
A lot.
I doubt it. I seriously
Yeah,
doubt it.
you know what? You bring up a good point. I think that that's the only time that I've actually went back and replayed a console is besides the PlayStation
Let's not
1.
lie here. We're
The
amongst
beside
friends.
Yeah, besides the PlayStation 1, I've also played Genesis and SNES. Very
Mhm.
specific games, but I think that the one that I've played the most and gone back and just done retro gaming is pretty much the PlayStation 1.
Yeah, no, I mean, I still own all those games on in some form or
Oh, me too.
another on PS1, PS2. I have them on emulators.
Oh,
I have them on a
I can show
handheld I
you.
bought.
I have one of the Breath of Fire games actually here.
Breath of Fire 4 was my personal favorite.
Yes, the fourth one. Yeah, that's the one with
Mhm.
Foul Lao, right? Or Foul Lu, whatever his name
Yeah,
is.
the music. I don't even know how it goes, but I can hear it in my head right now.
I,
Yeah.
cou- I couldn't get into 4, and I think the reason why that is I like that transition between when you're a kid and you're like exploring the world as a kid and then you become an adult. They took that out of 4.
Ah, but you're missing out on the grander scheme of that story, man. It's like it's literally a battle between psyches, I guess you could say. It's a type of psyche battle, long term.
Maybe I'll replay it because I couldn't get into it.
I remember the ending has about 4 different endings,
Yeah, it was
so
kind of
it's like
wild.
it was crazy. I mean, like I said, once again, it defined that was one of the games that helped define an idea, which is multiple endings. You know, back in the day, you had an ending and that was it. You saved the princess. Ooh, you finished the game. Good job. There are some games that are starting to come out with multiple endings, and as
I
like
love it.
Silent Hill, for example.
Ooh.
Silent Hill had multiple. Remember the dog pulling the levers?
Uh,
That was one of the endings in Silent Hill. And at the time, I remember my buddy showing me one of the endings, and I thought the ending that I got was the only one. He was like, "Yo, let me show you this one." And he beats the boss in a certain way, and he gets the dog levers. And I'm like, "You mean this has multiple endings?" And he goes, "Yeah, I think there's like 5." And I remember spending hours looking for all the endings.
and Silent Hill.
So much spoiler alerts.
Uh,
I mean, honestly, at this point, they have themselves to blame.
So much spoil.
so much spoilage.
So much spoilage in my goilage.
I mean,
Soy.
and to make my point, it's like if that wasn't the golden era, then why the hell are we getting me so many damn remakes?
Well, you know what? I was actually about to ask, when are we getting Silent Hill 2 remake?
I know. I want
I
a
kind
Silent Hill
of,
one.
you know what? If we're, we should definitely play that. We should definitely do that. We've already pretty much talked about this before, but you guys still want to do the Resident Evil 7 playthrough?
You know what? I'm like so back and forth because I really miss those Elden Ring days.
Me too. But I
Well,
want
no,
to play
this would-
from. Okay, hold on. But
this would be during Halloween.
okay. But Elden Ring, I've already said it. I'm not doing it unless Shadowflare over here plays from scratch.
Cricket, cricket.
Okay, let's do this. How about this? Let's do this. How about we do a challenge like a naked challenge like one of those type of challenges where we handicap ourselves.
Oh, that sounds
So
like fun.
I'm gonna be maidenless, and then I'm also gonna be naked at the same time
What do
What?
you mean?
Huh?
Huh?
because I'm gonna be maidenless, and then you also want me to be naked at the same time? Really?
Why would you be maidenless?
Hell, why would you be? Well, I mean, you're already maidenless, but why would you be maidenless again?
Exactly. Exactly. Why would I be maidenless and also be
Okay,
naked?
wait. How do you do blind challenges? And do they have like a setting now with
Ignore
the
me,
mods?
motherfucker.
What's happening?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what we're doing in terms of like Elden Ring, but
Turtles?
in time,
What? What?
Turtles in Time.
No, but
Oh, that's another one. Turtles in Time, the original OG.
That's SNES, right?
I
For
know,
sure.
I know. That had some good
Yeah.
ones too.
I think this most recent Turtle game that came out is better, but we just didn't have a chance to play it.
Oh no, it was darn good. I played the hell out of it. Like again, if I like a game enough, I play it multiple times, even by myself.
Mm. Yeah.
That's how I know something's good or not if I play it multiple times. Elden Ring, obviously, good enough for us to play it a third time because I've already played it twice.
I
So when are
agree.
we gonna do this blind? I can't do it this Saturday, but when do you guys want to do it? You want to do it Friday or Sunday?
Do it Friday. I'm
Yeah, that
down.
works.
Uh,
Okay, that's fine.
Do it on Friday, and yeah. So okay, so we went
My arguments,
into
my arguments, PS1 era is when it started, the golden era.
okay. So I was gonna say that because you kind of went into Xenogears.
Hmm.
One of the reasons why I have fond memories of Fantasy Star Online is because that was the first time that I ever hooked up and played online a game. Okay,
Hmm.
like especially a 3D game.
Halo was mine.
Yeah, it's so basically the Dreamcast at that time. This is Dreamcast era. This was a really fun time. I remember when the game came out.
I didn't
I
have
was
one.
yeah. It's my mom got me one for Christmas and stuff like that. I remember it was one of the best days of my life. And then
Your
she
wife's
ends
looking
up
at you funny right now.
shit. Anyway,
how do you do the edit out?
like so but when I got the Dreamcast, I remember that I was playing Phantasy Star Online offline because it had you could do both. You could either go online and play it. This is back before games as a service became a really huge thing, obviously. But you could play that game offline. You could pretty much beat the entire thing. You can go all the way up. You can get all your levels and stuff like that. So you didn't have to play online. But man, once you jumped into an actual game, it was fun. I mean, the only problem is, and this is the biggest downside, was that back then, because of how they handled the memory for like, so your save game was local. It wasn't on a server somewhere, right? So you were prone to getting hacked in game. And what would happen is that people would actually do this thing where they would use either a Game Genie or a Game Shark, and then they would screw your entire save. Your character, you could have a level 100 character, right? And they would actually or 90, I think at the time the first cap was 99, it was something like that. But anyway, so what they would do is they would actually like corrupt your data, and your character would go from like whatever level you were at to like level 5. Your stats would be screwed. You'd lose out all your armor and weapons and shit. It sucked. It was probably though, and that was kind of what made it very dangerous to play with others. Once you actually found people that you were safe to play with, you had to kind of like make sure that these people would actually like befriend you, and you had to make sure that your lobbies were private and everything. It was crazy.
It sounds to me like Dreamcast was his favorite era.
No, I would say that it's still the PlayStation 1. The Dreamcast was definitely my favorite console, but it's not my favorite era, because as you already know, what happened with the Dreamcast was that that was the death knell for Sega. Like there's a reason for that.
I mean, I just when I think about the PS1 era, it's like even up to the PS2 and kind of PS3. It's just you. I miss the days when I could just look at a company and think to myself, they make good games, I'm going to buy it. Now it's like you can't even look at company or brand name anymore because it doesn't mean anything in current times. Like but what FromSoft I think is the only one, and Larian Studios is another where so far they still have some goodwill. But I mean,
Yeah,
we,
I
we don't
mean,
live in those times anymore. You used to know which which companies were great, and you had like a almost a guaranteed chance that it was going to be a good
for
game.
you know
To
what
now, no, now you just have nobody.
for a long time, that was Capcom. Capcom had so many releases. Like back in the day, we're talking Street Fighter, Mega Man,
Marvel
Marvel vs.
versus
Capcom.
Capcom.
Yes, absolutely.
I'll take you for a
Re-
ride.
Resident Evil, Resident fucking Evil. Come on, these guys released
Resident Evil.
constant. They had a they were on a streak. Okay, a winning streak, especially between the
Capcom
SNES.
was the goat.
Yes, they were all the way up to like the PlayStation era, and then what happened? I think they probably didn't really experience
They
any
tried. No.
major
You know what
issues
happened?
until PlayStation 2, right?
No. You know what happened? They tried to cater to the Western audience.
Was that really what happened? I don't
I,
remember.
I mean, I've read some things and seen some like documentaries, and apparently a lot of their upper management try to cater to the West, and that's when they started making these gung ho games
Okay.
that went away from their core design philosophy. Now you can see
Yeah.
that they're going back to it.
Oh yeah. They flipped that switch really hard. I want to say maybe
Yeah, we're almost
6 7
backwards.
years ago now. Has it been? It's
Yeah,
been something like
weren't they
that.
really close to just going under?
Yeah, they had to do a major revamp of everything that they were doing. I mean, and I think I'm trying to remember what game came out that year that actually just like completely turned everything around. But by now it's like you see it. You have Resident Evil 4, 3, and 2 remakes. You had Devil May Cry.
I think it was a
What was
remake
the
that
last one?
turned them around. Honestly, I think that's when they started rolling the ball in the right direction again.
Resident Evil 2 remake I think is probably when it started. And since then, I'm fingers crossed, man. I really want the next Mega Man game. I really want them to return to that. The other thing I want them to
Mega
do,
Man Legends.
I would love for them to do that. I don't think that they're ever gonna do it though.
You want to hear
Oh,
a funny story?
what?
So when I was a boy, I must have been like 12 or 13 when
You used
Final
to play
Fantasy
Polly
7.
Pocket.
What the hell's that?
Don't make fun of that. I used to play that.
What the hell's Polly?
That and
What
Mighty
the hell's
Max.
Oh, I had
what
a
the
Mighty
hell's Polly
Max.
Pocket?
Mighty Max was dope. Okay,
Oh, you that's how you know you were poor if you didn't have a Polly Pocket.
or knew somebody who did.
Yeah, you don't know what Polly Pocket was?
No.
Oh, you must have been poor.
I'm gonna
What is
Google
it?
an image and,
And
then
I'm
I'll show it to you.
Mexican, so you must have been really poor.
What the hell?
You see, it's okay. You don't want to know the things
Why
you
does it
missed out
sound?
on.
Why does
worry-
it sound like why does it
Okay.
sound like a girl's toy?
Oh,
Okay, wait, hold on.
Okay, look, hold on.
Yeah, exactly.
Mo, do you remember Mighty Max? The little
Yeah.
tiny. Okay,
Yeah.
think of Polly Pocket as like the female version of all that.
Yeah,
So why are you playing with female toys?
I didn't. He did.
You just said if you're
I had a
poor,
Mighty.
if you didn't play with it.
If you didn't, yeah, because it means you didn't have your family getting it wrong and trying to get you a Mighty Max, but getting you a Polly Pocket by mistake. Thinking
I
that
don't
was
know. This
the
is
same
very sus.
No, something's happening
thing.
here.
No, I had a lot of nieces who had Polly Pockets and had Mighty Max. And it was funny
so
because
you
I
did
remember,
own them
No, we
Yeah.
did technically. No, they were the funny thing about
by
it is,
association.
no, the funny thing about it is I remember having my Mighty Max and them having Polly Pocket. I'm like, well, they suspiciously look the same. What is this?
Yeah, very similar.
Shadowflare, do you believe it?
No, I don't believe him. I'm
No,
pretty sure
I
that.
don't.
I
Yeah.
think his relatives had the
They-
Mighty Max
look,
and he had the Polly Pockets.
Look,
Like
they were
this.
look. They were interchangeable. All right, if you had a Mighty Max and your sisters and nieces had Polly Pockets, it meant you had more play toys.
He's
All
defending it pretty hard, so I think.
yeah, Jesus Christ.
No, I miss Transformers toys back in the day too. I used to have some awesome ones.
Transformers was dope back then.
Well, it's because once again, one of the first toys to do the transforming thing. It was great.
Transformers more than meets the Pope.
Anyway, I feel like I'm gonna get a lot of heat for this, but I actually preferred Beast Wars over ordinary Transformers.
Get out.
I'm sorry. I'm so
Get out.
sorry. I have
Get
to
out.
say it. Listen. Beast Wars was my
okay.
shit. Okay.
No, that just no.
Listen, I'm not as
no
old
respect
as
for
you.
the
Okay,
classics.
so I grew up with Beast Wars. You grew up with like the old school.
I watched
shit,
Beast Wars
okay?
too. I watched
he-
Beast Wars.
He
I
grew up
just-
with Polly Pocket.
Yeah,
Damn right.
Polly Pocket.
Polly Pocket was awesome. No, I watched Beast Wars too, but it's like the original was better.
I think, I think the problem was that like for me, I look at it now and it's honestly, it is dated because it's like
Maximize,
no, it's not even that. It's the fact that like with
terrorize.
the old school one with G1, I think they called it right, Generation 1, they
Yeah.
had like it was like, it was like an actual cartoon, and then Beast Wars was mostly like it was 3D, like and the shitty 3D from way back in the
Oh
day.
yeah, it was that point in time when the graphics were just terrible, and you watched it because you needed something to watch, but you
Yeah.
knew then the graphics were bad
Well,
because the
see,
games had better graphics.
actually, no. Back then, I was just like, I
No,
was so
no,
cool. No, for me, it was cool. But then it's like I look back at it now as an adult. I'm like, Jesus Christ, what was I thinking?
no, no. See, as a gamer, I knew what good graphics were. So when I was watching these TV shows, I was like, oh, this is some shitty graphics. But you had to watch something. So I watched Beast Wars, but I'm like, this is some shitty graphics. And I remember thinking to myself, going, man, I hope we get to a point where when I watch shows like these, like this, the graphics aren't so fucking shitty. Because they were bad. They were bad. And
Well,
it's still bad.
this is another reason why I don't like whenever you watch like anime, for example. Like I don't like the 3D that they put into any of it.
No, yeah, it's you're just waiting for it to get to a point where it's better.
Yeah.
Uh so okay, so Mo says that the current generation or the last generation was the best generation because he really liked what was it? Battlefront?
Um,
Battlefront.
Was it Battlefront, Battlefield, Call of Duty? Which one was it?
I
Let's see. We played up the hell out of
it was Breath of Fire
Battlefield.
3.
So your one of your favorite games isn't even from the area you're advocating for.
Exactly.
3 is
What
from
that does?
what? That's PlayStation, right? So in other words, wait a minute, hold on.
Yeah,
Your favorite?
exactly.
Well, hold on. No, to be fair though, because the game that I have the most fondest memories isn't on PlayStation either. So
I mean, you would think.
to
Exactly.
be fair,
Okay, yeah, but you have way more games that are favorites from a generation you could advocate for, and he's only said stuff for PS4, and his favorite games not even from a PS4.
yeah. I think for me, like just looking back at the PlayStation 1, there weren't too many games that you could take home. Like back then, Blockbuster was a thing.
Yeah,
For those of you that are old enough to remember that, like Blockbuster, you could go in there, you take. There was very few games that I would take home from that store and be like, this game fucking sucks. I mean, there was a couple,
I mean,
from time to
yeah,
time. You'd
but
run
then
into one.
there was also some of those diamonds in the dirt, or I think is what they call it.
Yeah,
Like Booger Man. I remember getting Booger Man.
I
That was a
remember. I
great
remember
game.
people play that. For
Booger Man
me,
was awesome.
shit, I played a lot of Tomba actually.
Um, My wife played Tamba.
Yeah, I actually enjoyed that one. I don't know why. It was a weird. It was a fun time for me.
I mean, there was
My
some.
favorite
Go ahead.
my favorite one was the one with the cats.
Samurai Pizza Cats.
No.
That's a good show, by the way. I fucking love that shit.
It
By
was.
the way,
It was a great
Yeah.
show. Wait, which one's the one with cats? What? Pets?
SWAT cats.
Which one's the Hello Kitty?
Hello Kitty, meow meow.
Pet Smart Simulator?
Wah.
No, seriously. What game are you talking about?
Um,
Thundercats?
Are you troll? Are you trolling? Are you trolling us right now?
do I ever troll?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
all the time. I mean, you're
It's
trolling.
unanimous.
This whole topic is a troll right now. PS4. Nobody's taking
No,
you
it-
seriously.
PS4, like
No,
seriously,
he's dead
I like-
ass. He's dead ass. About
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
like this era of
God.
gaming. I do.
Why? You like the achievements or something?
It's not the achievement. It's just I just
See,
I think
I would.
if I had the time, no, you can go ahead.
The
No,
shiny
I was
graphics.
just gonna add. Like, I can see people saying the 360 era, and the reason why I would say that's probably besides PlayStation 1, SNES. But I would say my third favorite is definitely 360 because number one, I met this asshole that is on this podcast with us.
Yeah, Mo.
No, not you, not him, you, motherfucker. And then on top of that, like I had a lot of my team gaming that I've done
You play with a lot of
has been
assholes that
pretty
day.
much pretty much like has been pretty much on the 360. Like most of my team gaming has been on that, especially when it came to like Battlefield and stuff.
360 was when we played nothing but multiplayer games.
Yes,
And we
we
played
played
those
mostly.
nonstop.
Yeah. So so I like
And
the
we were good
360
at it.
because of that particular era in gaming where you just like because I think that's when
That's when it was best.
yes, like squad based gameplay was fucking awesome at that time.
That 360 was the console that had the golden era of multiplayer games,
I
competitive
agree.
multiplayer games.
I
I'll give it
I
that.
could agree that. Yeah, I can agree to that.
Because the 360 had so many good. I mean, it just had a good online.
Besides Halo, I mean, for me, like Left 4 Dead was really good. Shit, Left 4 Dead 1 and 2 were really good team-based games that you could play. We played Battlefield. I mean, I wasn't too into this one, but COD. Everybody was into COD at the
Black Ops
time.
3.
Modern Warfare.
Black Ops 3 was a good one.
Well, Black Ops
We
3,
enjoyed
but
that.
you guys were into Modern Warfare. What 2? I think at the
No,
time.
no, that's not true. I was only into 3.
Okay, yeah. See, I wasn't into COD, so I played because you guys played. So you know.
I mean, it was too twitchy for me. It was really all about a Twitch shooting. What is going on over there?
Let me ask y'all something. If you could get into one genre, like to be like an expert at it, which one would it be? I think it would be fighters for me.
Fighters for you?
Yeah,
But you're terrible with those.
that's what I said. I wish I could be an expert at them.
I agree.
Oh,
No, I think fighters. I'd pick fighters because that's like the only. I think the only thing I see people do a whole bunch of cool shit on Street Fighter. Like
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Maximilian Dude, so I watch
Yeah.
a lot of his streams and stuff like that, and I see the kind of stuff that he's pulling off, and I'm just like, Jesus Christ, like. I've done what he does, you know, which they call it like lab, where you sit there, you test out move sets. And
Never
stuff like
get that good.
we never get that good. We've done it on Guilty Gear before, and it's just like there's just like a certain skill ceiling that I cap at, and I just can't get any better, you know.
I mean, I remember playing Guilty Gear and trying to beat 1 versus 3, and we all got rocked.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, no, I think I'd have to agree with fighters as well. What's that?
What was that?
You know, I'm just gonna end up
Are you
editing
watching
this
Jurassic
video.
Park again?
No, you know what's gonna happen? I'm gonna end up. By the way, that was you. By the way, Mo. I know it was you because I can see the little squiggly on your little. Because everybody, our audio is separate on this platform. Okay, I have separate audio tracks for everybody in this podcast.
Busted.
And then I'm like, I turned it up, and I'm like, yeah, it's coming from you.
That sounds made up.
I increased the decibels, and I heard the whole thing.
No, I'm gonna be honest with you. Fighting games would be mine too, because it's like you see such amazing combos and the reflexes, the counters, the mind games that these higher level players.
I love it. I love
do, yeah.
watching. I love watching like the upper upper tiers, if you will, of fighting gamers. You know, I think that some of. I mean, you got like guys like Justin Wong and Daigo from way back then. Then again, where you know
I
they
love
did
to hate him.
the-
Sonic Fox. I don't like him.
Oh
So cocky, but he's good. He's really good.
no, he's probably. I think he's the
best.
best at the
He's
moment.
The best. Yeah,
he's still the best.
In a lot of fighters, he's the best.
Yeah.
Shadowflare knows who my favorite player is. Come on, you can say his name.
LTG.
Yeah.
Low tier god. You know what though? Like this guy. Okay, so what I remember seeing stories about him way back in the day, and like I didn't like him at first, but like I've seen some of his more recent stuff that he's been doing, and I'm
He's
like,
toned down.
yeah. He's definitely matured a lot. So I'm like, I've been watching some of his stuff, and like this guy's legitimately funny. Like I've been watching some of his stuff.
I can never take it away from him. He is really good.
But it's not just that. He's a smart businessman. You know, he made like over $1 million from people just trolling him and him like playing that character.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I could do that.
I wish
can.
I was
At least-
good enough to play Dragon Ball Z Fighters. Dragon Ball Fighters. That game was so hard.
You know what?
I would love to be a Street Fighter pro.
I mean, you could start that now.
It's hard. I'm trying to play with a few characters. It's pretty difficult.
Just throw a couple Hadoukens. You'll get it.
That's what I used to do back in the day.
Just spam Hadoukens when you're scared.
That's what I used to do to my little cousins. They would get. They didn't know how to counter it or do anything with regards to it. They just get destroyed by Hadoukens.
They think they get the right idea, and then you're like, Shoryuken!
I don't know, right? Anti-air.
And they, no, and they think they're slick, and they roll through the freaking Hadoukens, and you're just like, "That's the Maki Seppuken!" Ryu and Ken are so cheese. No,
I
the
know.
cheesiest one is freaking is a tiger uppercut. I was like, you suck so bad. I
So
hate you.
Sagat.
Sagat is like so trolly, dude. Even the AI knows how trolly he is because he literally will just spam you. He'll spam you over and over, and you try to jump over those, and he just tiger uppercut. And if you get too close, it's tiger knee. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
terrible
I
at these
didn't. I
games.
didn't play. Yeah, the thing about Ryu and Ken, they call them Shotos or Shotokons.
What does
They're
that mean?
basically it's basically regarding their move sets. So you know how they have the Dragon Punch, right? Which is like usually down, side with like with one of the main buttons that you would put
It's just a
like a
half
light
circle.
punch or something. Yeah, the quarter circle, something like that, right?
Is it quarter circle? I
It's
can't
something
remember.
like that, yeah. So that like anything that has movesets like that, or like the way that the Dragon Punch works, you know, like the uppercuts, that's why they call them Shotokons. I don't know what it stands for, but but basically
I'm just
Shotokons
thinking
are
of
in
that guy.
every video game or every fighting game, I should say.
I'm just thinking of that one Mortal Kombat guy, Kotokan.
Kotokan.
Shao
Yeah.
Kahn.
No, there's another one called Kotokan. He's
Yeah,
like an
it's
Aztec guy.
Kotokan, yeah.
Kotokan, yeah. There's another one.
It's Shao Kahn.
We only care about the first con, okay? Well, no,
I could never
which is
get
the
into Mortal
con
Kombat.
from Star Trek. I'm sorry,
I
what?
I've never gotten into more.
Kahn?
I've never gotten into Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat was one I could never get into.
You know what? I never understood its popularity. I do now, but that's more with the more recent stuff
RoboCop.
that they've been doing.
Yeah, that stuff where they just had like a bunch of characters that shouldn't be there coming in. And,
Bro, I think that's one of the best ways to get other people into it. And then when they
yep.
remember when they released Spawn, I was like, "Oh my god.
No.
This is so great."
No,
It's the
Teenage Mutant Ninja
tits.
Turtles.
No, the best one was when they released all the horror characters like Freddy
Oh
Krueger, Alien.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Um, they had,
Jason, right?
and they also
Jason was
had
in
the
it.
guy from Leatherface. That was the shit.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, they had
yeah.
Jason,
Leatherface.
yeah.
Yeah, Jason. Yeah, they
I,
had.
I want to do like a solo play. I think I want to do like a single player one of that. Mortal Kombat is 11.
That was 10. That was Mortal Kombat X. That was actually, you know what? People prefer X over 11 because the movesets were quicker. You could actually do way more insane combos in X versus 11. 11, it just looks visually appealing. Okay, it's and then don't get me wrong. I mean, people can play it, and it's still a decent game in its own right, absolutely. But I think that if you were going from X10 to 11, you probably notice that there's definitely a speed decrease. And then on top of that, you also notice that it's like there's way more mobility and stuff like that in X versus 11.
Hmm.
If that makes sense. Yeah, if you play, you'd probably have to play both of them to really know what I'm talking about. But that, and then also you have way more chains to your combos in X versus 11. It's almost like you can basically like,
Juggle.
yeah, there's a lot more juggling and shit in 10. So
See, that's one of the reasons that I could never get into Mortal Kombat because their combat or the fighting style or the just the way you played it was more grounded and less airy. You really didn't when you launched somebody in the air, you really couldn't keep them up there for very long compared to other games.
yeah,
But I mean, that was its style. I mean, I get that, but it looks like maybe they might have tried to change that a little bit recently.
Mm.
In my
true
opinion, though, what do you think? What do you think the prettiest fighter was, graphically appealing?
ooh,
Uh,
that's got
that's
to be
hard.
11.
Really? No,
In
just in
what?
general.
In general,
Yeah, in general.
I want to say maybe that's hard because all of them look good, but I want to say fighters maybe looks the best.
Dragon Ball
Just
Fighters.
just aesthetically.
Okay. For me, it would have to be the one time I questioned whether it was 2D art or 3D art, and that was Guilty Gear, the new one that came out. What was it called? Guilty Gear.
Not
It,
Strive, the other one, right?
it was the first time that they went 3D
I know what you're
pixel
talking
art.
about. Yeah, it's the one before Strive.
Yeah,
Exert,
was it
yeah, Exert,
Exert? Yeah,
yeah.
Guilty Gear Exert. I remember seeing the screenshots for that and thinking to myself, "Is that 2D art?" And then realizing it's nothing but 3D art, dude. It was amazing. It looks like a freaking cartoon.
Yeah, it looks like
But you know,
anime, but then at the same time, it's like a fighter. But then at the same time, it's also got 3D in it. It was insane. Yeah, I love that
you
about
know
it.
what still looks good though? Street Fighter Alpha still looks good. Those games still like hold
I
Yeah,
up.
yeah, they
wish
did.
I kind of wish that Capcom would go back to that old style of video
We
games.
need another crossover game. I miss crossover fighters.
Yes, I agree. More Marvel vs. Capcom. You know what? No, not
No,
even
no,
that.
no, no.
No, not even that. You know what? They should do more SNK versus Capcom. That's what
There
I
you
want.
go. I want a full-on roster versus a full-on roster.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's get some Halo up in there. I want some Master Chief.
I think they could pull that off. Actually, if somebody at Capcom wants to go in and freaking make do it like what's his Sakurai from like from Smash community. You know what I'm saying? Where he goes in, he basically just makes these deals with all these different like developers to use their characters in his game and stuff like that. I think somebody at Capcom needs to go do that. Like emulate
Yeah.
that same thing. I know that took a lot out of him, but
I
Jesus
never.
Christ.
That's another. I could never get into Smash Brothers. I could never get into that one.
Not competitively, no. And then the other thing was that to be fair, also the Switch, it's not the best for online play. You pretty
Yeah,
Oh,
I
much
it's
agree.
terrible.
you pretty much have to. What I noticed what people are doing is they're rigging their Switch to parsec, and they're doing a combination. They're basically making it so that people are connecting through parsec to their local hardware and so forth, and then that's allowing them to play more. It's more like it's almost like it's online, but it's like localized online. It's so crazy.
That leads me into this. Although Nintendo had some of the greatest games to come out a long time ago, and still kind of to this day, their systems are the most antisocial systems I've ever played on. They're horrible.
Yeah, I mean I could see that.
They suck. I hate their online system. I hate trying to play with people on a Switch. With it's not fun. It is not fun trying to play with other people.
I think the problem that Nintendo
I just want
has.
to throw it out the window every time I try. Every time I try, I want to just destroy my damn Switch.
Yeah, I think the main problem that Nintendo typically has is that they are trying to do too much weird shit. Like when you look at the Wii, for example, you had the Wii mode, right? It's like this. We're going away from traditional controllers, and we give you this Wiimote thing. I didn't play the Wii U, so I don't know what that was like. But I can tell you one thing: it's like when they started going from like what the GameCube was to what the Wii was, and then now we've got the Switch, which is Switch is it's cool that it's handheld, but I think that that's actually hurt the console more than anything because it doesn't really feel like a bona fide console. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, completely.
It's a
It's
hybrid console handheld, you know?
but how do you figure it hurt it when it's like been like a blockbuster console like selling
Because
wise it's
some
like one of the
games are
most popular.
terrible at it. I mean, they still sold a lot, but Pokemon's terrible
Yes.
on that.
Okay. So regarding Nintendo's success, it's the more family friendly of the consoles. It's always been. It's like that with 64, with SNES, with the Wii U or Wii. They're always the family friendly option. Like the other ones, like when you think about exclusives for the other two, the competition, Microsoft, Sony, a lot of their stuff is too violent for kids especially. So what happens is that, but Nintendo, you always have games on there that have popular IPs that are kid friendly. So I think that that's why Nintendo always seems to succeed when it comes to sales and stuff of their consoles.
Hmm.
I'm tired of the low end hardware, dude. I mean, I get that you're trying to keep the prices low, but it just makes certain games or them trying to do certain style of games terrible.
I
Like
mean,
Pokemon,
you know
the
what?
last two Pokemons have been. I mean, the most recent one, I think it's what's it called? I can't remember. I can't remember, but I played it and it was fun, but it's ugly as shit. I mean, it's ugly as sin. It's such an ugly game.
See, I don't have a problem so much with the aesthetics. I think the problem that I have
I don't
mostly,
either, but it's
I,
still ugly.
okay, but like the main problem that I have is they're online. I think that honestly, if they had a better online system or if they fixed it, I don't know if they have, but I'm assuming it's still trash. Like
It's
if I were
still
to jump
trash.
onto yeah, if I were to jump onto Smash Brothers right now, because me and Mo actually
If you
tried
jumped
doing
on
it.
there, you would be
Yeah.
trash, and it would be trash.
Mm.
Remember Mo when we tried to play on that?
Yeah,
We
I did. It
yeah
was
it,
terrible.
yeah the online was terrible. It doesn't matter how good your internet connection is. It cannot keep up with online gaming. So that's why I understand why people are connecting through Parsec because you can't play on Nintendo servers. I'm not even sure if that's how it even works, to be honest.
What gets me is you have to use your phone to voice chat. Like what the?
Oh yeah, that's right.
I do
That's
have to apologize, gentlemen. I do have to step out.
oh,
We
okay.
we hit it though.
We hit our hour. So all
Okay,
right,
cool.
we'll call it here.
Yeah.
Like,
All right.
comment, subscribe, hit the
Mel,
notification bell,
bow,
Bell.
and hit the bell.
Bell.
and don't and don't forget the PlayStation 4 is the best era.
Oh, get the hell out of here.
All right,
Get out of here. Just
All right.
leave.
stop the stream now.